y'all. Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 9 to 5s. We are still married to the games. 1050. Yes, sir. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router and Timothy Hall, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys for being here. I am barely here. Oh my gosh. I hate you, Timothy Hall.
Hey, when you said, "Oh yes, y'all," I imagine your eyeballs just popping out of your head.
Oh yes, his head's about to explode.
Timothy Hall has a meeting this morning, so he texts us that text that I never like to get, and says,
and it always starts with a "Hey, can we?"
Hey, you know what? That text also said, we could do night.
That's true. That's true.
I know, but everybody knows that this is the better time for family and being alone and being quiet.
It's very true.
So it's 5:30 in the morning. 5:30 in the morning.
Yes, it is real, people. It does exist.
I know. Poor Gabe. He's such a creature of the night anyway.
Right.
This is beyond him right now.
The sun's not up. The birds aren't up. Satan just went to bed after dealing with all the late night craziness of the people of the world of America. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, so good.
So we're here and we're doing it. And if you hear me like quivering as I talk, it's because I'm crying inside.
Tim and I just got up. Gabe's still up.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, Gabe never went to bed.
Halsifer, have you joined the work for yourself workforce?
Yes, I have joined that club, otherwise known as the 5 o'clock club.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Well, tell us about it, brother. How's your week been?
Oh, very good, man.
Very good.
Oh yeah.
Listen to you.
I've got a lot of deals in the works. I did, and I think I mentioned this last week. The company I was working for went ahead and signed me on for a contract of so many hours a week, and we're kind of working out the logistics right now.
Fantastic.
Sweet.
Still doing my same duties, and for these companies that I've been approaching and these deals that I'm kind of working on, I'm going to be doing the same kind of things as well. So, the overall marketing management, typically these departments, they'll have maybe one person, maybe half a person working on marketing. I'm not really sure.
Right.
Or they've had a person working on marketing who's left, so they kind of need somebody to come in and tidy things up. So, that's the same kind of thing that I did with my company, coming in there and kind of taking it and revamping it. So, and a lot of companies need that kind of thing. So not a lot of companies nowadays want to hire, a graphics person, a web person, a social media person. They just want to have somebody come in and kind of get that stuff fixed so they can start managing it themselves.
Right.
So that's kind of the main thing that I do. For the company that I previously worked for, it's most of my responsibilities minus the video, because we did a lot of different video things, like introducing products and talking about like tutorials on how to use the products, and that took up a lot of time. So what's kind of happened is one of the programmers has kind of scaled back his responsibilities. They've contracted out his work. So now he's going to be doing a lot of the video stuff. And like I said, I'm just going back to kind of just being the general manager of marketing. So
now is your focus a lot of online marketing, or, just whatever strategies they need?
It's actually both. In the way it works in the audio industry is, the print-based media really is not going anywhere, because the online media hasn't taken off for the audio industry yet. They have some websites, but the viewership is just really, really low.
Yeah.
Like the page views and everything. So in the audio trade, magazines are still really important, and it has a lot to do with the symbiotic relationship between magazines and manufacturers. This is probably a really boring discussion, but
and Gabe is asleep.
I just started up some 2048, but go ahead.
I mean, it has a lot of parallels to the gaming industry, because there's been that discussion about Gamersgate. Have you guys heard, or Gamergate?
Yeah.
Have you guys heard about that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, it's very hard for magazines and publishers to not want to have a good relationship with the people that make the games, because those are the people paying your paycheck.
Mhm.
You rely on the advertising, and honestly, if you really dog their products, they're never going to advertise with you.
Yeah,
So-
which means you're never going to get paid.
Exactly. So it's just a very, games journalism is weird. Like, I think that it's very hard sometimes to look at a review and take it at face value, because there's so much stuff going on in the background.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The audio
Politicking.
industry, the audio industry is kind of the same way, but a little bit, I would say a little bit further than that. I'm not really sure how to describe it. I kind of call it a review sandwich, if you will. So
Nice.
when a product gets reviewed, they start with something good. They kind of talk about some of their nitpicky stuff in the middle, and then they end with something good. And in the audio industry, nothing gets a score. So it's basically just
It's either good or bad, right?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, here's the product. Here's the description of it. Even if there's something about the product that makes it a bad product, it's not necessarily a bad review. So
Nice.
Right.
it's kind of a way to entice companies to advertise, and then companies that advertise really like their products getting reviewed. So it's kind of, a symbiotic relationship.
So last week you said that because you were kind of making the transition, you got zero gaming in. Was that this week as well?
Yeah, honestly, I have a very hard time. Well, I take that back, because I did game some. I have a very hard
That's what I'm
time
talking about.
scheduling some fun time for myself. And
5
I know
o'clock in the morning,
Router
baby.
knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because you got to schedule the fun time, but then you got to be like, well, maybe I should be working.
Yeah, you are now always working.
Exactly.
That's essentially, you feel like you have to be working all the time.
Yeah, and I'm completely fine with that. I was talking to Chris about that last night. When I used to own that project studio, I would always book band stuff. So I would book tracking, I would book mixing, I would book all that stuff. And I would never book time for like Xbox or, or anything like that. So
Honestly, just treat it like a client, and because that's what I do. Like in the morning, it's depending on the workload, and you'll know by the end of the day, what you got to do in the morning. And what I do is I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend an hour gaming, or, even if it's just 45 minutes gaming, and then boom, I got to go on to the next thing.
yeah, if I send it an invoice, will it shoot money out of the slot or something? Because that would be great.
Yeah,
Nice.
wouldn't that be amazing? Well, man, that's awesome. Welcome to the world of self-employment. And it's just remember 30%.
Yeah, exactly.
Of everything
Go to
that
the
you
government.
make. Put that aside. They do not make it easy, and it hurts you.
Oh,
But-
I'm sure I've done my 1099s before, so it's like,
Yeah,
I'm
It's-
ready.
There you
that's
have
good
it.
stuff, man. I'm so happy for you.
Nice.
Before I end, and I'm sorry I'm dragging this on so long. So the renovations almost done.
On the
Nice.
house.
Yes.
Nice.
So we decided to
Buy another house. Woohoo!
we decided to tear up the landscaping and do it again.
Oh man, you just did that though, didn't you? Well,
Not
you
that
kinda-
long ago.
Yeah, I was going to say you kind of cleaned it up.
You haven't been in this house 6 months. You do
I know,
landscape.
you've
I
already-
know.
Well, I have one last question for you. So now that you're self-employed, so you have a little bit more freedom around your house, I should say. Is it like, are you getting into studio mode in your room? Like, are you setting up a studio or doing anything like that?
I'm going to be getting to it. The problem is that I've got to get a newer computer, because the interface I bought, like, I love a company called Universal Audio,
Yeah.
but now they only make their newest stuff is only Thunderbolt, so I got to get a new Mac
Oh, nice.
soon
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, but honestly, the iMacs themselves are not as bad as say a MacBook, or if you're going Apple's way. Like,
Well, I'm thinking about it. Like I would like the portability of a MacBook so that I can take it to meetings with me and stuff.
yeah, that's true.
But honestly, like I like the horsepower of an iMac. You know, you can get into an iMac for like $1,200, and it's got everything under the hood.
And you have a nice 27-inch. You know, yeah, it's pretty awesome. And honestly, dude, for what you're doing in the marketing stuff, you could probably take your iPad Mini with you to meetings.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I figured it might look a little unprofessional. I'm not really sure.
No way, dude. I think that would make you look more high tech, and like, man, this guy's with it. He's got, everything right in front of him.
What if I took both?
You could do both.
Then that just becomes pretentious.
Yeah. Then it's like, all right, you're pushing it.
Router.
Oh, brother.
What's going down with you?
Man, had a great week last week at Disney. I wish I was sitting in front of a safari again outside for this podcast. I don't even think at this hour the animals would be up.
Of course they wouldn't. Because they're not crazy.
That's right. But we had, for the rest of the week, it was just great. It was so hot in Florida, and it like poured several times.
Did it still rain every day?
Pretty much. Yep. Yeah. And like the day we left on Friday, like everything was looking fine. And then it came over and just the floodgates opened for probably a good hour. And luckily we were at lunch at the time, so we were indoors, but it poured.
Wow.
But yeah, we had a great time. The Wednesday that we recorded, we basically hung out at the lodge and went to the pool and just kind of laid low for a little bit, which was nice because my poor in-laws, I think, were running and gunning.
Yeah,
like,
man.
It's when you have we had a 5-day vacation. It's always good in the middle of it just to take half a day just to kind of go to the pool, sit down, relax. Because at Disney, you are hustling.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's, you are walking a lot. There's a lot of stuff to do. Exactly. Oh, anyway. So I was just floored at how open everything was at Disney. Like there were no lines. Like it really is the best time to go. If you can deal with the heat, like a week or 2 weeks after Labor Day is such a great time to go. Like we just walked on all the rides. Like Piper, we did the Dumbo ride and basically stayed. We're like, we asked the guy, can we just stay on? She wants to go again. And he was like, yeah, no problem. There was like nobody in line.
Isn't that crazy?
For Dumbo. Dumbo's like 60 minutes long typically. And, we walked on to everything. So it was a lot of fun. We came back Friday evening, and I'm so glad we did that. It was so nice to have the weekend just to unwind, because the next morning at 8:00 in the morning, I got up and I cleaned out my garage.
Nice.
It took me all day from like 8:30 to 6:30. I had so much crap in there. We have a community garage sale coming up at the end of September, and we've actually made some really good money out of it. And since we're also renovating the kitchen, which still isn't done, we have like microwave, and hey, here's a dishwasher, and hey, here's like some slabs of granite if you want it for whatever. And I think people will come and buy that stuff. So I just have this huge pile. I can't even put my car in the garage right now because everything's in different piles. And then, and once the garage sale is done and once the kitchen's done, then we'll just move everything. So it felt really good. That project has been hanging over my head for a while because I've neglected the garage so long. So it was good to do that. And then
put more stuff in it.
Yeah, exactly.
That was not fun.
No. So that was good. And then Sunday I get an allergy attack because of all the dust and everything. So that was fun. So it's like, come back from vacation. Welcome back to the real world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been good. And, we're kind of back in the swing of things. Monday was absolutely chaos because we had our countertops installed and we got all of our appliances installed. So I had it was like a house party at my house in the morning. Like I had 6 guys here, 3 of them were doing the countertops. 3 of them were putting all the installations. We had a new dishwasher, a new microwave, a new cooktop. So it was just kind of nuts on Monday. But now all we have left to do is the guys are coming for the tile backsplash today. And then the cabinet guys are coming back to do some touch-up work, and there were some damaged drawers that they're coming and installing. So by Saturday, our kitchen should be done. which is pretty amazing.
There you go.
And there's always some small stuff to do afterwards, but we have countertops, we have a sink, we have a dishwasher, we have everything, so we don't have to live out of plastic plates and forks and and spoons and everything. So that's going well. Gaming wise, I went ahead and fired up the PS3 one more time on Monday morning. I think it was Monday morning for The Walking Dead season 2 finale. And I was tired after that, man. It was emotionally exhausting. It really did wear you out. It was really great. What I'm loving about Telltale is that I think at the start of season 1, there were a few choices to really make that kind of that led to a certain outcome. What I'm noticing with The Wolf Among Us, and especially with this, is there are a ton of choices now that affect your outcome at the end. And it was funny. I got a text from Ed Placencia, and he's like, because he saw my tweet, and he's like, dude, I did something that totally opposite and got a completely different. You should go on YouTube and look at all the different endings. So apparently there are a ton of different endings depending on your choices for The Walking Dead. And I like that. I like having those different choices, and, because then you can always go back and do it. But I finished that. Finally, I was able on Tuesday to pick up my Destiny pre-order, which is it was just sitting there at GameStop waiting for me. So I picked that up and finished the first mission, which we had in the beta anyway. And so I was going to play this morning until Hall made the text and said, "Hey, 5:30, let's do this." So that was my Destiny time, but that's totally fine.
Yeah. I thought I texted that to you guys a few days ago.
Yeah, you did.
It honestly, it could be worse.
It's totally fine.
We had to do our landscaping at night because Krista gets home from work at like 6.
Yeah.
So in like last night while doing the mulch, we're going to need more mulch. We went to Home Depot at like 9 p.m.
Yep. And the nights are getting it's getting darker earlier now. So you're gonna have that issue. But yeah, no, it's totally fine. But so yeah, I am currently playing Destiny. I have given XCOM, kind of put that on pause. I'm gonna go purchase that on the iPad, and I think that's gonna be my game on the iPad.
You're gonna love it.
And then and I've still been playing the mess out of Mario Kart at night, and I've just been doing just regional circuits. I know we have 2 different MTTG tournaments. Every time I go in there, it's just me that shows up. I'm like, well, I'll go to regionals, and then if people find me, then we'll all get together. And that's essentially what ends up happening. And man, there's some good players out there. Excuse me. And what I love about regionals is like, it really challenges you to, make sure you get those tight lines in, and, get those curves right, and just kind of keeps you focused. But it's like I don't know. It's like I'm training for something, but I'm not. And Mario Kart is just so much fun. And it's such a fun game, and I love playing with everybody, and anybody who pops in, like Gabe or Ed and Hall, man, we got to jump on that. I haven't seen Tipper or you in there.
I don't have the new tournament code.
Oh,
I mean, I'm sure it could be easy to get. I just haven't had that much time.
But you don't even need that, man. Just go to the regionals. I do
typically, but like sometimes people will be playing, and I think. Basically, it just hasn't gotten to the point where I'll have enough time to, sit down and spend 30 minutes with the community or an hour with the community. So that's why I'm really excited about us kind of hammering out a day.
Yep.
To make this happen.
Yeah, I agree. So, I think it'll be fun. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's it for me. Mr. Patillo, please tell us about your week.
Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny.
You liking it?
It's funny because I guess people have been tearing it apart, and
as the case.
Yeah, I mean, I get it's not perfect.
That game was brutally hyped. Though.
It was, but I saw a headline the other day that I think sums it up. I don't feel exactly this way, but you understand. It said, "Destiny feels like not that great of a game, but I can't stop playing it."
There you go.
I was like, that's interesting. So it's not like I feel like it's not that great of a game, but I feel like, yeah, these missions feel pretty repetitive, and I'm doing the same stuff over and over and over again.
Right,
but I am playing it like I'm addicted to it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so
I love when a game does that. Like you're thinking about it when you're not playing it. You're like, man, I was this morning. I got up actually at 4:45, thinking I could get like 20 minutes of Destiny in, and I ended up not.
My gosh.
But it's like it's one of those games when you're like, man,
yeah, and like I've been playing with the community so much, and that's the seller. And I was telling the guys when I was playing with them, I was like, man, rarely I feel like, do you see something at E3? And the first time they showed it at E3, it was like you're walking and then just somebody else drops in. Hey, Mark. Hey, blah, blah, blah. All right, you want to go do this thing? And I was like, at the time watching it at E3, I was like, well, there's no way it's going to be that fluid. And it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like rarely they live up to the, as far as the technology goes on that side. So I've just been really enjoying playing with our people. And there's a couple guys I still haven't been able to play with that I want to, get in there with. But I'm level 20 now. So I'm working on, pushing past that. And that's the cap for those that don't know. 20 is the level cap. But then you can, through armor and all this stuff, it explains it. You can push past it.
That's so cool.
So just getting to know people has been really cool. And I feel like that's all I've been doing.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
So I've really just been enjoying it. It's been really fun. Been writing and all the boring stuff of work, but
Gabe's like, I am now currently divorced because my wife
Do you ever get inspired for writing, like when you're playing a game?
Yeah, I think anytime you're watching something, there's two things. There's two reasons why I get like amped up to write. Number one, it could be like the cinematics and how powerful maybe something is. Like, in a movie will evoke that, or if you're watching like something triumphant on YouTube, you'll kind of get amped up like, oh my gosh. And then number two, the excellence of it. Like you can tell that they've done, the game is good. People can dog it all they want to, but it's a well put together game.
It's solid. It's a solid game.
It's a solid game. And so when you see something done well, and it's not full next gen, which is fine, so you see some things that are probably a holdover because it's, made for both, last gen and this gen. But when you just see something done in excellence, it makes me want to go be a part of something excellent.
That's awesome.
There's a podcast called This American Life that I listen to, and the way it's produced is so good that it makes me want to go write a song. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
that's awesome, man. Who knew that NPR would be such an influence on you?
I know, exactly. Man, so that's all that's been going on. I have nothing exciting to share except that we got Plants vs. Zombies from our boy. Is it Luke?
Yeah, Luke. And he actually has a question, and I was going to shout out to him before. But yeah, when I came back, they were right there on my doorstep on vacation that next day. I'm like, oh, Luke is the man. That's amazing.
Yes.
So thank you, Luke. And Hall, I have your copy as well.
And stick around because we are going to be giving away the signed Infamous Second Son today. And as a surprise, we're also giving away a Smash Brothers demo for the 3DS. We're giving away a code for the 3DS. And I'm going to just say it on here later in the episode. And first one to get to this part of the episode that has a 3DS gets it. So we'll tweet out. We'll tweet out that that's coming. And yeah,
that's awesome.
And yes, sir. So that's it from me, Router.
Let's do this.
You got it.
I got this.
You got all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's do it.
All right. Finally feels good to have everything back. So new releases this week is extremely weak. Just because we got some other games coming up soon, and I think everybody's just like, well, these little things can come out. So we have Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Revolution coming out for the 360, PS3, and PC. And then just a few little stragglers.
Those games are fun. Just for
are they?
A side note, I think so, yeah.
There's like 10 of them, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a bunch.
They're fighting games, right?
They're a bunch. Yes, yeah.
Well, okay. That's awesome. If you want to interact with music, Kickbeat Special Edition is coming out for the PS4 and the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
And for the PS4, Air Conflicts Vietnam Ultimate Edition, which is an arcade-style air combat game. That's pretty much it. So everybody's like, yeah, that's nice. I'm playing Destiny. Leave me alone.
Exactly.
So
I heard that that new game from the people who made You Don't Know Jack. I heard that's coming to PS3 and PS4 soon.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I think.
I
did not
used to
see that.
love
Can't remember the name
You
of the
Don't Know
game,
Jack. I used to love that game.
Fibbage.
Cool.
what is it?
Fibbage.
Yes, it is actually.
Yeah,
I
it
think
looks like that came to the PS Store this week.
Yeah, I think I saw that too. I just didn't add it. I was like, okay.
I can't wait to try that out. Kristen, I love You Don't Know Jack.
So does
Yeah,
Ed
that's-
Placencia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
was
a good
thinking
one.
about Ed.
He's
too.
the one who introduced me to it, like back when it was on the computer, and you had to like
Yeah.
be sitting next to each other to play.
Oh, nice.
I had the first one.
It's awesome.
Nice.
Oh man, it's so different.
So good though.
Still Cookie Masterson though.
Well, back to Cookie Masterson, because I think he
did
left for a
did they
second.
take a hiatus from him?
Yeah, I think it wasn't him for a minute, and I think it's back
Huh.
to Cookie.
That must have been terrible.
Yeah, that can't be good.
Nah, man, they knew what they were doing.
All right. It was you, wasn't it?
It was me.
you all.
Nah.
It was you all
Then I
along.
got fired.
All right. Well, let's get into. Finally, we got some charts. This is for last week, the week of September 6th. Number 10, Tomodachi Life for the 3DS.
Nice.
Number 9, Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U.
Oh wow, that's low.
Yeah, it's definitely low, but keep up there, Mario. You'll get there. Number 8, Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair for the
Dragon
PS.
Romper 2.
Dragon Romper 2, Goodbye Despair for the Vita.
I heard that's really good.
Debuted at number 8. That made its
For
debut.
the Vita?
Yep,
Yeah.
for the Vita.
So physical copies. Wow.
Yep. Number 7, Minecraft for the PS3.
hey, that's low.
Heyo.
Yep. Number 6, Minecraft for the Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we'll be saying for the next couple weeks. Number 5, Madden NFL 15 for the PS3. Number
right.
4, Madden NFL 15 for the 360.
Yep.
Number 3, Madden NFL 15, Xbox One.
Ooh,
Number
yeah.
2, Madden NFL 15 for the PS4. Another
Wow.
PlayStation beats out Microsoft again by
So
10,000
crazy.
units. This is so unheard of. It's so weird.
I know that we spent the whole like first year and a half of this podcast saying anything that came out on Xbox 360 and
Always
PlayStation
schooled
3 is
PlayStation.
always did.
Yep. Number 1, The Sims 4 for the PC.
Really?
Wow.
Debuts sold 179,000 hard copies.
People love
Wow.
that game.
Man, Sims is back. So,
Dang it.
yeah, there you have it.
And then we'll
It's-
get Destiny next week.
Yeah, so Destiny will be next week.
Tim, we got to remember for next week to pull the pre-order numbers and rub them against the actual numbers
Oh, yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, let's do that.
for next
How many
week.
people picked up their copy?
Yeah, who actually
Yep.
went and got it. Yeah.
Yep, I like that.
I wonder if it still counts as a sale if you fully purchased the pre-order
That's what I did.
and left it there.
That
Like,
I would
let's say-
imagine.
Let's say, what did you say?
I said that I would imagine.
They'd
I
still
think
count
so.
it as a sale,
I
right?
think that, yeah, well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
money.
because you paid for it.
Yeah, you've given them the money, so that's considered a sale. Now, it wouldn't go, well, would it go toward pre-order sales? Because you could put, what, $5 down on a pre-order?
Well, you could put $1 down at Target.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying only fully paid off. I can't imagine they can count the $5 ones because those can go away.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole, yeah. I would
No,
think
the
that,
$5 ones that aren't picked up, that's just money for GameStop or whatever.
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hold money.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Hall,
Man,
give us something at 5:30 in the morning.
ugh.
Besides a
Everybody
wake-up call.
knows. Well, everybody knows Microsoft bought Minecraft.
Yeah,
What happened
yeah.
now?
I heard something about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, like during the band days, and we were like hanging out and stuff, like we would always talk about things as junior bacon cheeseburgers because they were only $1 back then.
I
Yeah,
love me some
I saw you on
love-
Twitter.
we'd
Love
be
me some
looking.
junior bacon cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
Oh.
we'd be looking at something like, we'd be like, man, that guitar is like 1,000 junior bacons, or something like that. So,
Is that
Love.
Wendy's?
Yeah.
oh man, dude,
Love me some junior bacon cheeseburgers.
I used to just kill those things up until they changed the price, and I was like, nope, never buying them again.
Yep. Awful. 99 cents, man.
They weren't worth more than
bomb.
$1. So.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I made the comment about Microsoft bought Minecraft for 2.5 billion McDoubles, and then we got a lot of comments like, my McDoubles aren't 99 cents.
Oh crap. Whoops.
I was like,
Sorry.
well, guess I'm lucky then.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in at a good time. Yeah, this is it's interesting. It's also interesting to see there's a lot of backlash for it too. Like people are like, no, Microsoft, no. Like everybody's thinking that they're going to screw this up.
Minecrosoft.
Microsoft. And
Hey,
I
they
feel
are
like-
the original Mine with Minesweeper.
There you go.
That's true.
But it's Microsoft, man. They're not, they're going to treat it right. They have the money. They have the backing for it. I think they're going to take care of everybody. So everybody stop panicking. I'm sure it's going to be fine.
They spend enough money on it
Yeah. They
So-
spent a lot of money on it. So
to take care of it.
they want to get their return on it. So they are not, I don't think they're going to screw this up. They're not just going to take a $2 billion McDouble bath.
Can lightning
disgusting.
strike? Can lightning strike
I
twice?
don't want to take a McDouble bath.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Oh,
It'd be squishy.
Can lightning strike twice for that developer? You think?
Good.
I mean, if they just continue with the current version of Minecraft and never make a new one, I think they'll be fine.
So they
Really?
So you think
It's
they can
always
just
in the
add
charts.
maps and mods and that kind of stuff and go from there?
I'm talking about $2 billion. I mean, it's on the charts, but it's not like, and another 100,000 units of Minecraft sold.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
the revenues have been, I think the revenues have been steadily like around 100 million a year. So it would take them a long time to make their investment back. But I think it was more about putting,
And it would slow. It's not like it's going to stay there.
Well, they're definitely in it. What it says is they're in it for the long haul.
exactly, it was more
And-
about making a statement.
And
I
they need
guess.
to, they'll make a return on it.
It's like
yeah.
Facebook
What's-
buying Snapchat for like, what was it, 3 billion?
Yeah. Or
Like
even,
they're not going to make any money on that.
or even Instagram back in the day. when they
Yeah,
bought it.
buying Instagram, they still haven't figured out how to make money with that. So
I honestly think that they bought that probably for the data as well.
yeah, I
Because
guess they're
then-
making something off of that.
Because if nothing else, they have a ton of people under, in that database that they can go back to and be like, hey, you like this, you'll like this, and they can market
That's
it to
true.
this. So they were probably smart in doing that because I'm sure there is a mess of data that Minecraft has that they can get their hands on now and have access to.
It's weird because it
makes
seems
sense.
like they're going to have to come out with something. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody could have called Minecraft's success. You know what I'm saying? When it was just on PC and Mac and it started bubbling and you know what I'm saying? It started going crazy and kids were getting involved. I don't know. Could that have been called? And so what I'm saying is that's a luck of the draw. You just happen to write a hit song. And so are you going to be a one hit wonder
Right.
or are you going to be, Naughty Dog? You know what I mean?
Only time will tell, I think, at this point.
It's like he wrote a hit song, but then it got like picked up by the NHL and they played it every hockey game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
yeah.
he's making mad return off of that.
And I get that, but what I'm saying is, so now you buy Sir Mix-a-Lot. Is Sir Mix-a-Lot going to have another huge song come out? Or is he just only going to like big butts and he cannot lie?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Well,
I get it. But honestly, person, he basically said like, I got to get out of this because I'm going to go crazy if I don't.
So not only do you not have the guy who came up with it, but you're left with just so now you head up a studio. Does the studio have a name or does Minecraft have a name to kids?
I think at this point, I think they just know Minecraft. But I think what Microsoft wants to do is build that brand.
From the
And-
makers of Minecraft,
Yes.
we bring you.
That's honestly the perfect pitch for the next game is not,
a mine story.
Right. It's not about the developer name. It's about the actual game name. So it would be from the creators of Minecraft or from the people that brought you Minecraft. That's going to be the tie-in.
There you have it.
And the way that Xbox's Phil Spencer put it, I mean, it like Minecraft itself is going to continue on the platforms it's on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going away.
Yeah, and he said Minecraft, so he didn't mention about any future projects.
I mean, but there's going to be a future
Minecraft
project.
Well, and when there is, perhaps it's an Xbox and PC exclusive.
Sure.
It's going to be Minecraft Rise of the 8-bit.
I mean, they couldn't have spent $2.5 billion on this unless they planned on selling some hardware too.
Yeah. Ooh, good call.
Hardware.
Well, it could be that or some sort of software with it.
Well, what I'm saying is buy this and then release Mojang's next project as an Xbox and
One
PC exclusive. Yeah,
there you go.
Mainly, I would think they would want to do it as an Xbox One exclusive, just because the more that they get out there, the more licensing they're going to make and people buying other games for it. So
yeah.
Well, you know what? I know we've talked a lot about this anyway. Only time will tell. I think it's cool. I think it's, everybody's freaking out about it and they're all going to voice their opinion on the interwebs, and that's fine. But listen, only time will tell. They clearly have a plan. Otherwise, no one's just going to spend $2 billion for the sake of spending $2 billion. They have a plan. There is something strategic going on, and it's going to be kind of exciting to see what happens. Will we play it? Who the heck knows? But, it's just one of those things where we'll just have to wait and see.
There you go. So Super Smash Brothers on the 3DS came out in Japan this last week and sold 1 million copies.
Wow.
Which is awesome. Digital and physical combined. Opening weekend in Japan. 49 playable characters. That's 49? A bunch.
You said 49.
49 playable characters, including some new entries. Mega Man, Little Mac from Punch-Out, Pac-Man, and the biggest, most Japanese sounding surprise of all, the Duck Hunt dog.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's awesome.
The dog from Duck Hunt.
That is awesome.
And now I cannot wait to play the game and just play as the Duck Hunt dog.
I think you should.
And hear that announcer, Marth verse Duck Hunt dog.
Is that how they're naming it? Duck Hunt dog?
Yeah, I don't think he has a name. I don't think it's like Rufus or anything like that. Like I think it's
that would be his name. If
the Duck Hunt dog.
Duck Hunt dog.
Can I say how much I love those games? I have to say it again, like just in case I haven't made it clear before. Smash Brothers is so fun. Somebody on our Twitter put it, I think it was on Twitter, put it the best. They said it's the Mario Kart of fighting games.
Yep.
Well, there's a depth to it where if you get real good, you're just going to smash everybody, but it's also really accessible. Jump in and kind of play it.
All right. I may have to try it.
You do need to try it. You're not going to like it.
Really?
No.
Okay.
But it's awesome.
Well, then if you're going to get it, we'll play it at your place.
There you go.
There you go.
Hall, you're into Super Smash Brothers, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, like I owned the N64 one and we played it all the freaking time. I'm not really sure why we didn't make the jump to the GameCube one.
Yeah, weird.
I mean,
right?
I didn't really like the GameCube controller.
Me neither. I think that's why I didn't make the jump. And then also Canada is launching a thing called the Super Smash Club. And they'll host events across Canada in major cities and have players actually help define the rules and play against each other for swag, and they can win stuff. It's going to run.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's going to run.
Pretty awesome.
In October and November. You can head over to Nintendo.com to find out more about it. And
now, see, if we had that in the States, we would all get out to that.
No, we wouldn't, because the Xbox did something and came to Nashville and none of us went.
Yeah.
We get too busy. We want to go,
Yep.
In our hearts, we're there.
Well, you know what needs to happen is we just need to have our radar up when things are coming in so that we can plan in advance. Because if we hear it last minute, we're like, well, I can't do that, or Gabe's out of town, or, you know, we're all busy doing stuff. I mean, it's kids and wives and 9-to-5s, baby. So we gotta we gotta have a plan. So if it's coming in like 2 months, and then we'll say we can go.
Exactly.
You know?
So all my Canadians up there, look out for that Super Smash Club. Let us know how it is, because we're jealous, and I'd love to be there. And you could do something like that in Canada. They're so freaking friendly up there, man. They're like, oh, nice. Yeah, I'll come out, don't you know? Hey, whatever they say up in Canada.
don't you know?
Is that Are they hosting these events at Tim Hortons?
Oh, my gosh. They make so much money. That'd be awesome. Give us something else, Hall.
Destiny is UK's biggest IP launch.
Wow.
Say word. History.
Awesome.
Nice. That sounds about right.
Yep.
And the people over Bungie like, phew.
Yeah, right. I have to believe, Gabe, you said something earlier when you were talking about Destiny, how easy it was to pop in and out. I have to believe that I'm going to say that the majority of the money spent had to be on servers and database and the fluidity of the multiplayer versus anything else. I mean, graphics will always come, are such a priority too, but I would have to think that the actual structure and the logistics of all the server management and everything, that's where a lot of that money went to. Because
they didn't spend it on the story or the voice acting.
That's for dang sure.
So they had to spend it on something.
That is for dang sure. So, and that stuff is not cheap. So to do an undertaking like this, where it is so easy to just drop in and out of any mission for anybody, and so fluidly, and it made it so easy, that's expensive.
And they got a long-term plan too. So like those servers are going to be up for a long time.
Yes. So they've set the ground floor is set, and there will be Destiny 2s and 3s and 4s probably.
Well, unless they do it a little different. I mean, that DLC is $35 that's coming out. And if they could just expand this one.
Maybe.
Unless they want to jump full next gen with a Destiny 2 Electric Boogaloo somewhere.
Yeah, you would think they would make that jump, wouldn't you? Because by the time the next game is ready, I would think that previous gens are kind of starting to fade out.
Yeah, it's true. Paul, you got something else?
Well, I was going to say, just regarding that deal, like they put so much money into the advertising
that's true.
That live action commercial is awesome.
That is cool. I dig that.
The commercial's awesome. The talking is just funny.
Well, it's, on par with the game.
Yeah. And speaking of, you had mentioned like kind of the money that they spent on like voice acting and stuff. Like there were a few big name actors in there, but like I didn't hear them really talked about like after the game came out. Like nobody was mentioning like, oh, it was awesome that so-and-so did some stuff in here.
Well, it's weird because you don't fall in love with any of those people. Like when you're going into a mission, you have somebody talking, and I always feel like you don't have any connection to the who that is talking. But I know I've recognized a couple of those voices. But like, even with like the speaker and people that you hear a couple times in the game, I think I've, you don't necessarily beat the game, but I'm done with all the missions like on the different planets.
Oh, nice.
And you just don't. There's nobody to fall in love with. It's not like, it's weird, man, because you're like, all right, you had an opportunity here to tell a really cool story, and you have the talent at your fingertips, and it just feels like it falls really flat on that side of things,
Did they ever meant it to be very story driven? It sounds like the focus was more.
I can't imagine.
It was more on just the gameplay of it and the interaction of it. Like, I mean, the name Destiny does sound like, okay, this has to go somewhere. This has to be a decent script. I mean, shoot, even Halo has probably a better storyline.
Well, and the thing, you're exactly right. And I was thinking about this the other day when I was playing. I was like, this is called Destiny.
Yeah.
Like, the name is way bigger than the story.
Yeah.
You would think the story would be this like triumphant,
Exactly.
you know, ba-ba-da-da, and we're going to go and change, you know, so it's like, hopefully this doesn't die. You know, like the ghost that is following you around, like couldn't have any he couldn't care any less.
Right.
It feels like. And then your character too. And it's funny because I was playing with somebody else and they said, oh, we have different voice actors. So I don't know if there's a different voice actor in there for if you play as, I'm a warlock of the Exo, I think, race.
Nice.
So I don't know if there's different voice actors for whatever, for like the Titan, the Warlock, and whatever, but he doesn't care much. Yeah, we did it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know,
Nice.
here it is. You're like, all
sure
right,
is
well,
cold out here.
it sure is cold out here. And so, but there's just not that. I don't know that there's not like that. Hooray! Like we're doing it. Holy crap! We're in this. You know, that's why I always say I love the endings of Call of Duties because they ramp in such a way that when you're at the end, it's like it's climaxing in such a way you're like, this is a movie, like we're doing it, yeah, like it's in slow motion, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
and you leave going, whew.
Yeah, you're
you
like,
get
all
exhausted.
right.
Yeah.
And the
Didn't
credits.
you get a lot of comments this week like, Gabe playing Call of Duty during Destiny launch week?
That was good, man.
They got on me, man. I freaking love the community. Let me explain myself. My family came over, and my wife's family, my family-in-law, and it was my wife's little brother and cousin.
There you go.
It's hard to keep their attention while the adults are downstairs playing, you know, a board game. They're like, oh, we want to do something. So I sat them in front of Call of Duty.
Said, here, go shoot some people.
And neither of them have a PS4 and
Awesome.
turned up the surround sound. And they came downstairs literally smiling.
Nice.
I was like, do you guys enjoy that? They're like, that was awesome.
So great.
It was a good time.
No need to explain. It's all good.
Yeah, that's a lot better than I get. They're probably like, oh, Hall's playing Netflix again on Destiny launch week.
On Destiny launch week.
That's funny. We had another birthday this week. The ESRB turned 20 years old, the Entertainment Software Ratings Board that you see in the bottom right-hand corner of all your video games.
Mm-hmm.
And this came out. I thought that was kind of cool. The Federal Trade Commission over the last 14 years has been collecting data through mystery shoppers to work the numbers up on how often children are stopped when trying to buy an M-rated game.
Ooh.
Or other things like R-rated movies or DVDs and parental advisory CDs. So 14 years ago, the number of video games sales to like how many times minors were stopped from buying an M-rated game was 15%.
Okay.
It was still kind of new 14 years ago. You know, the ESRB, people might not have been taking it that serious. Today, it's 87% of kids are checked or
really
stopped from buying M-rated games if they're underage, which is a higher percentage than R-rated films by 11%, R-rated DVDs by 17%, and music by 34%.
Wow.
So it's beating all those other mediums of like checking for age. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think that 11-year-old shouldn't be able to buy an M-rated game.
It's honestly not what I expected. I thought it was actually going to be way less because, I mean, just look around you.
Well, that's why we have a bunch of parents going in now. Like, I just give it to him. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I bet a lot of them get stopped because, like some of those retailers have just coded it into their systems.
Yeah.
So like when they scan a game, the register will just stop the transaction.
Well, they'll have to enter a date of birth.
Exactly. So honestly, yeah, that's great.
Fine by me, man. That's
I think that's good.
Totally fine by me. I think that's the responsible thing to do.
Yeah. Check them jokers. I have one last thing. Hall, you got something?
Yeah. Oculus Rift is coming sometime in mid 2015.
Wow.
Oh, good. Mine had something to do with VR too. Nice.
The price point's going to be somewhere between 200 and 400.
Nope.
Wow.
I hope it's 200 because I don't.
It's probably not.
I was going to say this is no Apple Watch. They can't pull a 349.
No. I agree.
Oh, that's funny. Well, my thing on the VR side of things. Kickstarter. There's a Kickstarter called Air VR, and it's turning your iPad mini or iPhone 6 into a virtual reality headset.
Ooh.
It comes with a headset with the lenses in place, and you just slide your iPad mini into it. Retina display. You know what I'm saying?
Is this a joke?
No.
Okay. You're going to look like such an idiot.
It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably look like such a moron doing that.
They're only looking for $20,000, and for $49, you can get an Air VR head mount. And that's what I'm going to be for Halloween. Oh my gosh.
Everybody's going to be like, who's the dork with the iPad in front of his face?
And it looks really ridiculous because the iPad comes down in front of your mouth and nose and everything.
Oh, it's not stupid.
It's not a good look, but it's hilarious looking. Last night when I looked, they had raised $2,500, but they have 30 days left, so it's almost a whole thing. But it got me into thinking, and this goes into our question of the week, which I'll repeat later. I don't understand virtual reality. I don't understand why. Why? Am I just old? Like, is it the same thing with Minecraft?
I think it's just a sensory thing. What I'm more concerned with is how is that going to get involved in games? Like, that's a massive undertaking because that's a total sensory different. It's just a different way of looking at everything.
I just don't get it from this. I get that only because I tried the Morpheus, and like, I guess you look around and that's fine. But like, I just don't see me doing this at home by myself.
Right.
Like, just for my wife to come in and scare the crap out of me. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we did talk about you'd be, strapped in your machine with your Oculus Rift on.
Yep.
With the surround sound up or the headset.
And that's what I was thinking. Like, she already likes to scare me when I'm just wearing the Pulse Elites.
Oh, I bet.
And I can see with the Pulse Elites on.
Yeah.
You imagine like snatching a virtual reality headset off your head and throwing it to the ground. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's like 3D. Like, I think it's cool. I don't go to 3D movies. I don't have a 3D TV. I haven't bought into the whole 3D thing. I think it's a great idea. It's just not there yet. And it's going to be the same thing with VR. Like, it's cool. It's a little tchotchke thing, but it's not the norm, and it's not going to be for a while.
So are you saying Oculus Rift is being delivered now it'll be just on store shelves?
The consumer version is supposed to be launching in the middle of next year, and I bet it'll get delayed, so maybe by the end of the next year.
And then, like, is it just going to be hook this up to your computer at home?
It doesn't really give any more information, but I assume it's going to be just, hook it up to your computer. That's the
other thing I wonder about.
It looks like it's kind of a private sale almost. Like you can order it from their website or something. I don't think it's going to be on retail yet.
It's like a Google Glass thing.
Yeah, kind of like a Google Glass thing, but cheaper.
Way cheaper. Google Glass. Hey, I love Google, and I'm an Android guy. I got to try the Google Glass on, and for $1,500, I'd be pretty upset. Like, no, thank you. Even the guy that let me wear it was like, I was like, was it worth it? He was like, I kind of got to say I like it. It's like getting a tattoo.
No, you're stuck with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I wear it, All right, you all out, Hall?
Yep.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. Favorite theme park was the question. Starting at the forums, Greg Legg said, a topic I can get behind. Before I got married, I was a coaster enthusiast. Well, still am, but don't get to parks as much anymore. It's hard to pick a favorite, though. Probably Europa Park in Germany. Honorable mentions going to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, Disneyland Tokyo, and Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which I guess by extension would be my favorite American park.
Nice.
Also have to give a shout out to Kennywood, my hometown park.
Wow.
Riot.exe said, well, because of where I grew up, it'd have to be Six Flags Astro World back in Houston, Texas. Problem is, back in 2009, I went back to visit. I currently live in Illinois, and it's just gone. Completely gone. Astrodome, Waterworld, everything in that area is just gone. Sad times.
What?
Donnie Reese,
I guess just
like
torn down.
Yeah,
tore up.
Gone.
Holy
They should have
cow.
left it. That could have made a great setting for a zombie movie.
There you go.
Let it grow over and just
Yeah.
sell it out to people for movies.
There's your Last of Us movie setting.
Exactly. Donnie Reese, born a Buckeye. Cedar Point is the best from this guy's point of view. Six Flags over Atlanta is a nice distraction, but it's a far cry from Cedar Point. Over at Twitter, John Matthews at Star Fury Zeta said Busch Gardens, Williamsburg as well.
Wow.
John Stapleton at CRed81, Disneyland. But I'm going to Disney World in October, so my opinion might change. And then lastly, we have Q at LP Guardian. It's a Q and a question mark.
Nice.
Sadly, I've never been to one yet. I hope to visit Disney someday. # fingers crossed.
Nice.
Make it happen. It's worth it. Make it happen. Thank you guys for answering our questions. You know where to find us. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Facebook.com/Married to the Games. MarriedToTheGames.com. Come check out the forum. We are active. Well, 2/3 of us are active. The other one's playing hard to get. YouTube.com/Married to the Games. We don't have anything too new up there. I might do a throwback Thursday with the BioShock Infinite rap this week.
Oh, sweet.
Think about it. Hall.
Oh, yeah. Rate us on iTunes and Stitcher.
Why is that?
It's your destiny.
Oh,
Nice.
I like it.
I like it. Well played.
Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, I'm just going to start knocking these out because we got quite a bit. Email, Travis P. And let me start by saying that Travis had asked us, I think 2 weeks ago, I want to say 2 weeks ago, about The Last of Us and some tips and tricks. So this is a nice follow-up. He said, just wanted to give you a follow-up on The Last of Us Remastered. I went in not knowing anything about the game and was completely floored by how awesome the game was. Great story, incredible action, great graphics, characters that you actually care about. An instant classic. Gabe, you were right about starting those generators. They gave me anxiety. I conserved my ammo, like you all said, made those last couple levels much easier. Maybe it's just me, but the sounds the clickers made were creepy.
Oh, yeah, Jack.
The Left Behind DLC was short and fun and a lot of cutscenes it added to the overall story, but not sure I would have paid extra for it. Thanks to the MTTG community for the recommendation. Worth every penny. On to Destiny.
Nice.
So that's awesome, Travis. Great. I'm glad that worked out for you. And I'm so glad you got to play that game because it is incredible. Moving on, Angela, a.k.a. Silver Husky on Twitter. Hey, MTTG crew. I've been listening to the podcast for nearly a year now and love it. Your show is a great change of pace from the usual gaming podcasts I listen to. There's just something awesome about life and games. I have a few questions this week and I'll try to keep them brief. First, Gabe, now that you've finished Persona 4 Golden, will you try any other Shin Megami Tensei games? How about Persona 5? What about Persona 4 Arena? It plays like the Blaze Blue fighting games.
Oh no. I mean,
Great.
In the great words of, Justin Bieber, I'll never say never.
I was trying to think of what it would be.
Yeah, what would be the great words?
Like one less lonely game, or what's he trying to?
That's awesome.
And so, I can't ever, I can't say I won't, but there's going to be a laundry list ahead of it.
Yeah.
Before I get back over that way.
So she goes on, the PS2 version of Persona 4 led me to the overall SMT series, but I can see why they can be a drag for some people. I've yet to finish any of the SMT games or spin-offs like Persona in under 100 hours.
Right.
Which leads me to my next question for everyone. What is the longest console game you fellows have ever played? For me, Persona 4 still holds the record at 146 hours.
Hallelujah.
Holy
wow.
cow.
Holy cow.
Get it, girl.
Thanks again for the excellent podcast. You guys are the best. Angela, that is awesome. Thank you for those kind
Thank
words.
you very much.
Longest console game for me was Skyrim, 95 hours.
Halsifer?
I think I put, because I played Skyrim twice.
Yes, you did. That's right.
I think I put maybe 90 hours into it. But honestly, like, I think back to like playing multiplayer on Call of Duty, like, and this is back on Call of Duty 4, the one that everybody freaked out about, the Modern Warfare. Yeah. I don't know if I would have put more hours into that because I didn't keep track or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard when those multiplayer games where you just hop in and play and you get sucked in for 3-4 hours.
But yeah, as far as like story games though, yeah, I mean, probably Skyrim just because I played it twice.
Yeah, I would say Persona, but I played Final Fantasy VII like 2.5 times. And those are long. That's a long game.
Nice.
But I think Persona of one playthrough of one game. I mean, that's around 100 hours as well.
Wow.
I know we kind of joked about it, but did the gameplay elements stay pretty fun throughout the whole experience? Or did it feel like kind of a chore at the end?
Man, it's hard to say because there was things about it that didn't feel like a chore and there was things that did. It's funny because in the last couple hours of playing it, like when I was kind of coming to the end, I found myself chuckling at certain things. Like, oh yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. Like there was like a couple things that I was like, wait, do I like these characters? All of a sudden, 97 hours into this game. And so there was some wrap up stuff that I really enjoyed. The writing towards the end, I really liked. And so it didn't get as arduous. Is that a word? It didn't get as, I don't know. If
arduous. Yes.
As I thought it would remain. There was a time before the end, like, oh my gosh, where's a knife? But then like it actually eased itself into like me really enjoying the end of the game.
That's awesome.
Great question.
Great. That was great. Thank you, Angel. Appreciate it. All right, Luke, our boy who hooked us up with Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Thank you so much once again. He writes in, he says, hey guys, you've all been contracted to design the next big AAA action adventure game, and it's a mashup of some of your favorite games. Each of you gets to take major contributions. Here we go. Cast. Router picks the protagonist. Hall picks the antagonist. Gabe picks the setting.
Ooh.
All right. So here we go. AAA game. What are we thinking? So the protagonist, I'm going to say, is a female.
Nice.
And she, oh man, that's all I got.
That's not fair. A female.
All right. She is a female who, well, wait, we got to pick
a female. Is she like a, do you need setting
first then?
Okay.
Forget it. Let's pick, Gabe, you have to pick the setting and then we can kind of figure out who the characters are from there. I think the setting leads it.
It's important.
Space.
Okay.
The final frontier.
There it is.
These are the, what is it?
Are we making a Star Trek game or something?
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So
I think you got to go with space. I really like space for some strange reason as a setting. But
I do too.
I think I'm going space like Mass Effect, like ship,
yes.
Like a ship space, not like a planet space.
Okay. Female who's in space. There's your protagonist.
Oh, go. Come on. That doesn't help. Is she an alien? Is she human?
Okay, we're going to do this. She is from
Tatooine.
No, not Tatooine. That's topping out. She is from the planet Venus. She's
right.
She rides on the Normandy.
She's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Oh, let's go against the status quo. She's butt ugly.
All right, she's butt ugly.
There you go.
She
got
butt
a Cockney
ugly
accent.
She has had a troubled past because she is the last of her race.
Oh, and she's the only one that can keep it going because she's female.
Boom.
And on her planet, it works like Earth.
Boom.
Gotcha.
See? All right, Hall, antagonist.
Ooh, I have an idea for an antagonist, but go ahead, Tim.
Nice. When you put it that way, like that she's the last one, I would think it would be somebody who wants her race to die.
Right.
So maybe like some kind of politician.
Ooh.
What?
Okay.
What about a virus?
Ooh.
That's a pretty good idea.
I like that. A space virus.
Space virus.
This is going to be the worst freaking AAA game ever.
Nobody's gonna want to play that crap.
This
You go
is
to
a
the
AAA.
doctor.
This is like
I think
triple
I got
F.
the space virus.
Yeah.
Triple F.
It's going to be a triple F action adventure game. This is going to suck so bad.
Oh my god.
Okay, now plot devices. Router sets up the conflict. Hall lays out the plot twist. Gabe drives it home with the final conflict and go. Okay.
Oh shoot.
So the conflict is last of her race. What are we saying? Okay, so the politician, she's known the politician before. The politician has been on her planet, and they hit it off.
He was on her planet when she was a kid or something.
Right.
Let's say the politician's like 30 years older or something.
Okay, I was going for like they dated or not dated, but they were in a relationship before of some sort.
Oh, okay. Well, then they're not.
So they're the same.
They're around the same age.
Yeah, they're the same age. So maybe they grew up and they like dated each other when they were younger, and now something happened that triggered
mass genocide. What the heck kind of relationship was that?
Yeah, right.
She was like, I don't know. I want to change the color back to yellow in this room.
Okay, all right. So maybe it's one of these like they both fall in love. No, that doesn't work either. Something like he betrays her because he wants her race to die anyway. And clearly he's had issues with the race in the past.
Somebody who was of that race killed his parents. How about that?
There you go. Like that. Okay. So there's
then he became Batman.
So that's part of the there's the plot twist, Hall. There's your plot twist. He becomes Batman. And then Gabe, bring it home. Bring this horrible game home.
Yeah, what's my responsibility at this point?
The final conflict is clearly the boss between her and him. They meet up on some planet somewhere.
On Venus.
Oh my gosh, it's Wonder Woman versus Batman. Kind of.
This sucks. Shall we move on?
I think they meet on Venus.
This is horrible.
And he finds out she's pregnant.
Okay.
At the very end.
Nice.
And
with his child.
Which causes him to hesitate. So she kills him.
Nice.
And then she pulls like a Jerry Springer. She's like, I wasn't pregnant.
Okay, I like it.
I was lying just to get you to trip up for a second. Now you dead. Don't
awesome.
Judge me. You don't know me. You don't know me. Don't judge me.
This is now the ghetto triple F action adventure game. Oh, that was horrible, Luke. We totally did an injustice, but that was fun. As long as we had fun doing it, that's great.
If only we would have started this podcast
to make injustice.
Nice. If only we would have started the podcast at 6:30, we would have had much better answers.
Of course,
I know.
Luke is never going to send us anything ever again. He said, these guys are idiots. All right, let's move on. Donnie Reese, having spent the last week moving into my new humble abode this past week,
Congratulations.
Exactly. I spent many an hour packing, lifting, dropping, and unpacking endless boxes with my Bluetooth headphones on, listening to my favorite podcasts. Then it dawned on me. I've been listening to several podcasts weekly for years now. It's become part of my weekly, if not daily, routine. As the voices of one of these podcasts that look forward to hearing weekly, do you feel pressure from your fan base to continue to provide that, quote, fix? And have you ever discussed how each of you would like this show to end? Thanks for helping me through my internet-less and exhaustive week, fellas. Thanks, Donnie. That's awesome. I don't feel the pressure because I think our community is amazing, and they're kind of more family than anything else. Like it's never just we're going to you. It's more of like, we're all in this together. We all discuss things. So, I mean, we have a podcast and people listen to it, but then we love to interact with everybody. So I don't feel pressure to continue to provide that fix. I think that just kind of handles itself because we love talking about games. So that's our fix. Like we can all discuss it. And then after the podcast, we discuss it online. And I think there's no pressure. The real pressure I have is just making sure that we always feel the pressure to make sure that we come in every week, and and keep everything consistent. I think that's where I feel the pressure. Because like last week, the first thing I did when we checked in at the hotel was try and pick a nice quiet spot where I know I could do the podcast, because I felt, you feel that pressure. Like I want to make sure that we're delivering something every week.
Yeah.
That's the pressure I feel.
Pulsifer?
I listen to a couple podcasts, but I hate it when they don't come out for a week.
Yeah.
So I just made it a point that we don't do that.
Yep. I think it's perfect.
So even if we have to struggle to get, to wake up, whatnot, it's still worth it to get something out there for the people that like to listen to us. So I love it.
I don't feel the pressure of being the fix, but I do feel the pressure of it being good.
Right.
And like it haunts me. Like I stay up at night, like thinking like how to try to make this show better, and what I can do better is like the guy that's semi behind the helm. Like it's weird because these guys do so. I feel like all three of us are different enough that it can offer a little something for everybody, except we're not really. Hall can get there sometimes, but we're not real negative. But Hall's wife told me that any negativity he has in his life is because of her. She said that. She was like, I've made Hall negative. I was like, get out of here.
I told her that basically you guys are so positive that I kind of have to balance you out a little bit.
Yeah, there
exactly.
You go. Exactly.
But, I do like, and we'll be driving and my wife will be like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. I'm just, think about this Married to the Games thing. And she's like,
she just rolls her eyes.
What's the problem? Yeah. And I was like, I just want, I want to take it to the next level. I want to be able to provide, amazing content for the amazing people that listen to. I mean, it's one thing if you guys were a bunch of complainers and it was like, but like you guys we have such an awesome community and we can't say enough.
It's the most mature, the community that I've ever experienced. And that's what's so great about it.
Yeah. And so it's like, I want this thing to grow and be awesome for you guys. And that's the pressure I feel. If there's a pressure, that's where it comes from. And I think it's a little bit of my performance background, like, coming from stage and, everything about our show. We're like, we want our show to be banging, especially because it's Christian. We feel like automatically people are like, oh, well, it's a Christian show. So, I mean, we're like, we don't want the pass. We want to be good. You know what I'm saying? And we want it to be excellent. So that's where I feel the pressure, not from delivering it every week.
Exactly. Nice. All right.
Speaking of, we want to do more. We need to chat. We need to have a lunch or something.
Yes,
yeah, we're gonna.
We got some ideas, and I was talking to at our 100th episode. I think I was talking to Chris about it.
Chris McCracken.
Some of the people that came, I was talking about some ideas we had. So we want to expand it. So just know that we're definitely thinking about that.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Awesome. That was just email. Let's move on to Facebook and Twitter really quickly. Don't worry.
We got it.
We got this. Zach Ald on Facebook. My question for this week, with it being so early, how many times has Router fallen asleep during this recording and Hall will edit it out?
Honestly, more than you know.
No, here's the funny part. I'm the early bird and Hall's an early bird too. The week that happened, that was the first time that it's ever happened. But that week was like a stressful week where I was getting up consistently at like 4:00 in the morning every day and going to bed at like 11. So I was just, at that point, I was just like, I was out. So that was like a one-time thing, hopefully, but it was still freaking hilarious. It was great.
It's interesting because I've many times, I'm like just mad when I'm getting up to do the podcast because it's so early and I'm not an early bird. And I've thought so many times, like, you know what? I could do this in the guest bedroom, like while I just like laid on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
That would be an awful idea.
Dude, you would be asleep every episode.
I would be out. Like, oh, yes, y'all. This.
Exactly. So awesome. Yeah, that was a good one. Let's move on to Twitter. Devin Tyus at Dev A Tyus. Now that Destiny is dropped, what is your most anticipated game for the rest of this year? And what are your opinions of Destiny? We've already kind of given our opinions of Destiny. It's a toss up. and I've said it before, it's a toss-up between Far Cry 4 and Assassin's Creed Unity. Like I said before, I'm very nervous about Assassin's Creed because it's going back to kind of its original roots. Like, it's not a pirate. Like, I was excited for Assassin's Creed 4 because it was totally different. It was a pirate-themed. It was a great game, and I loved every minute of that game. This one, because it's so focused, like Assassin's Creed 3 was, it's so focused on a time period. I'm hoping I'm not disappointed. I don't think I will be, but we'll see. But I'm definitely all in for Far Cry 4. I think that's going to be awesome.
Paul?
I think it's Far Cry 4 for me. The co-op is real. Like, the co-op on 3 was really fun. So if they improve it, I mean, I'm all in.
I have two. Sadly, one of them is Far Cry 4, which is just repetitive at this point. The other one is I played on the iPad Hitman for the iPad. It was called like Hitman Sniper.
Oh, yeah.
And they said it was coming out in the fall. And I'm actually, I don't know what.
You're a big Hitman guy.
Yeah, I love Hitman #1. But something grabbed me about it. And it was kind of like really fun at E3. And so Hitman, I'm waiting for that to come out, man. Come on, Hitman.
That's awesome.
Hitman Sniper.
At Delvin Cox, have you ever gotten into a fanboy argument? And if so, how bad was it? I don't think I have.
I have.
You have?
Not an argument, but just like a heated discussion. And it was with Chris Dumoulin. If you guys remember Chris.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't an argument by any means, but it was definitely like the Xbox was going through all its growing pains before it came out. It was like between the announcement and E3, I think, or something like that. And I was like, so what the heck is going on with Microsoft? And, he was like defending, but not quite defending. But then at the same time, he doesn't like anything Sony, but he doesn't like it just because it's Sony.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, that was kind of because I don't consider myself a fanboy, but I do only own the PlayStation and the Wii. And
I think for all of us too, we favor a certain one. It doesn't mean we're fanboys of it. That's just what we
and I more
prefer.
favor the developers. I don't favor like the controller or even the UI over the other. But I've fallen in love with the Uncharted series and now The Last of Us. And so like Naughty Dog is like wherever they're going, I'm going is what it feels like. So if I'm going to fanboy something, it's going to be the game developers, not Sony or Microsoft. You guys know I'm not an Apple guy, so that almost automatically makes me a Microsoft guy. I work on a PC. I have a Droid phone. I don't have a Windows phone, but
you have an iPad.
I'm not that crazy. I do have an iPad, but it was a gift. I didn't buy it.
Nice excuse.
Yeah, exactly. Hall, you ever gotten in an argument, fanboy argument?
Nah.
I don't see you arguing.
I just like stuff.
I do too, and it seems pointless to try and argue over something where either one, it's still fun. Like, if you're going to hate something for the sake of just hating it, you're not going to get through to them anyway because their mind's already made up. So what's the point?
Exactly.
It's like, just if that's what you love, then go for it. I'm not judging. It's fine. Have fun with it. As long as you're having fun and playing games, it's all that matters.
Exactly.
Joey McPherson at Joe Boston 617. What activities would you love to do? For example, skydiving, bungee jumping, etc. I would freaking love to do skydiving. My wife always says, "Don't ever do that." Because you have a family to think about. I'm like, I know, that's why it'd be so much fun to do.
Yeah.
I think skydiving would be so awesome.
Skydiving, and I used to be a big snowboarder. I know I'm black, but I used to like to snowboard.
That's awesome. Ebony, ivory, living in perfect harmony. Yep. Love it. Hall?
I used to skateboard all the time. Like I wouldn't do skydiving or bungee jumping. Honestly, it's just a little too scary for me.
I wouldn't bungee jump, and I wouldn't like hang glide, but I'll skydive for sure. Yeah, if something goes wrong, I want to make sure I'm not making it out of that thing. Bungee jump, you know what I'm saying? God,
yep.
I loved skateboarding when I was younger and like going to the parks and like riding in the bowls and stuff like that. But honestly, I don't think I could bring myself to do that now. I'd be like the oldest guy there by far.
Yeah. Like, who's this guy?
It wouldn't be any fun
They'd be calling
anymore.
you grandpa.
It was funny. I think we were moving some stuff around, like, and I still have my, Krista got me like a newer skateboard, like right when we got married. And
Nice.
I pulled it out the other day, and this is like the first time I'd been on it, and I think maybe 6 years.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, I can still ride this thing. I can still do tricks.
That's cool, man.
I can't even stand up on a skateboard. Like, I really can't. I can snowboard.
Speaking of that extra content we want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. Super Ultra Podcast at Superpod. How do you guys feel about the current portrayal of women in games?
Good question.
I think with Tomb Raider, and we had said this before, I love the fact that, she gets her butt kicked in that game, and she's still rock solid. And
she takes it like one of the fellas in that game.
She really does. Yeah. She gets her butt kicked, and it's just like, that's awesome.
She's storming camps, and full grown men are runrunning away. So full bearded men.
Exactly.
So
where did she get a rocket launcher?
Exactly. That's the best quote of that game. I hope it continues to do more stuff like that, where we have these women who are just out there killing it, and you end up fearing them. I thought that was awesome.
Let's face it, it's gotten a lot better than it was. Like, if you look back at Tomb Raider, like the first game, and Gabe knows what I'm talking about.
I know exactly
what the character looked like in the first game. That game would not see the light of day.
I don't know how she was able to even run forward without falling over.
Exactly.
So disproportionate.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that the developers are doing the right thing by saying basically, you can have a strong male protagonist and you can have a strong female protagonist.
Exactly.
So I think they're doing the right things. I don't know exactly. It's perhaps, are they mentioning NPC characters, or
I don't know.
Something
I think
like that.
I think like you're saying, I think we've come a long way from maybe what people have been upset about when it comes to women in video games.
Yeah.
But I think I think the Lara Croft thing is a good example. I think Ellie is a good example where they're
definitely
not. What was the other girl's name in that game? Tina, Tamara. I can't remember what her name was. But
she was like a strong female
not
lead
being
too.
portrayed as weak and needing help.
Exactly.
Female Shep obviously was the main character.
There's missions where Ellie is basically taking care of Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly right.
And so I love that, and that shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. We all know that women help the world go round. And so I think what people start to get upset about is the mix of who women, how they could be objectified in media, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think is probably the bigger issue, but
that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, it's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But I think that developers are trying to move in the right direction and not come across so one-sided. We talked about it when it was going on, but they talked about not putting Ellie on the cover of The Last of Us, or her not being in front because the women don't whatever as well as men on covers of video games. And I think that's ridiculous. And I can't imagine that's true, actually.
Yeah, I can't either. I don't know what data they pulled from that, but to me, that's
none of the Tomb Raider games would have sold at that point.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. Good question.
All right. Final question, really quick one, because I know, Hall, you got to get out of here. Colonel Bigbeard at Colonel Bigbeard. I've just bought a Vita and want to know what are the essential games for it. So, Gabe, this is all you. Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah, exactly.
Remote play.
Yeah, remote play with your PS4. Tearaway, I thought was really fun. Ollie Ollie is really fun. Trying to think of some other ones. Dragon Rampa 2. I'm just kidding. Let's see. What else did I really enjoy on there? I do love RPGs on there. I think they're awesome. I hate first person shooters on there. It's weird. I'm not good with the fast paced stuff on the Vita. Uncharted Golden Abyss, I think is what it's called.
Yep.
I mean, there's a couple out there. I wish I knew more. Like, I got a Vita, but I only got like a couple games for it, so I'm not obviously the end all to talk to about that. But there's games out there that are awesome. They're easy to find. But I would start with Golden Abyss and some of the other ones I mentioned. If they would have brought freaking Kingdom Hearts, I would say play Kingdom Hearts.
That's
all
awesome.
right. Is that it?
That's a wrap.
Let's give away some games real fast. This is from Delvin Cox at Delvin_Cox. Hooked us up with the Smash Brothers demo for the 3DS. First one to it gets it. Here we go. A05VC9E3368GQ2B as in boy, Y. I'm not repeating that.
Ooh, snap.
You can rewind only because it's long.
Putting the hammer down.
Thank you, Delvin Cox, for hooking us up with that and letting us give that away. It's got to be redeemed by the 19th. So hopefully somebody gets there before that. And then giving away Infamous Second Son, signed by the @Sucker Punch Prod team. You have 2 weeks. If nobody claims it in 2 weeks, it's going to somebody else. B Phoenix on Twitter.
Ooh.
Randomly chosen.
Congratulations.
B @B_Phoenix. Get your game. If not, it's going to somebody else. Thank you guys for participating in our giveaway.
Do they need to send their address to mailbag? Is that how that's working?
You can either tweet at us or email me, Gabe @marriedtothegames.com. I'm the one sending it out anyway, so I'll send it right to you, to your doorstep. Thank you guys so much for listening. 105 in the books. I said the question of the week earlier. I'll repeat it. Why VR? Why? Virtual reality. What the heck? Is it? Why? Why? Morpheus? Why? Oculus Rift? Why? Air VR? Why? Does anybody have a good explanation for it, brother? Thank you guys. You guys ready to get up out of here? Good. Tim Router over there. Timothy Hall over on this side. And I am Gabe Patillo. And we are married to the Gabes. And we are up out this thing. Peace!